Having a little race day anxiety is actually really good as you approach whether it's your first race or last race of the season, because it means you're being mindful, and it also brings a sense of excitement to have that anxiety. Athletes can get really overwhelmed, like I used to be when it came to race day, to the point where they couldn't sleep, their heart rate was elevated during their taper week, and they just had this uneasiness as they were approaching race day. So today I want to talk about 5 things you can do to ease race day anxiety. Number 1, identify what is causing your anxiety. I know for me, as an age group swimmer, mainly when I was in that high school level of swimming, I used to stand on the diving block, sick feeling in my stomach. I didn't know why I was there. I was scared. I had some fear, and I just never competed to my potential. I didn't really identify it until I was in the sport of triathlon, where when I started the sport of triathlon, I actually did it for me, myself, and I. And when I come to that realization, I realized as an age group swimmer, I had that fear and that kind of that sick feeling when it came to competition, because I was trying to prove something to my coach and my parents. Like, I didn't want to disappoint them, but when actuality, disappointing them was disappointing myself. And so I was just too young to understand that. Now as a triathlete, my biggest fear and anxiety comes on the bike. I don't want to get a mechanical. I've had races where I've gotten flat tires, broken chains, and broken shifters, and I've always been able to finish the race, thankfully, and I'm grateful for that. But it does add a lot of mental stress when you're out there racing, when you do have a mechanical. And so I'm always a little bit, I wouldn't maybe say anxious, but I'm always worried that that's something that I can't control that could happen. Another thing that gets me anxious for racing is the weather, but I'm not a very strong rider in the rain, and so I just kind of get a little uneasy because I don't want to slip, making a turn. I don't want to crash and get hurt, and like, who does? But that's actually something that's always on my mind, is racing in rain or getting a mechanical that causes my anxiety. I started triathlon in 1992, and it wasn't until 2003 that I remember my first race walking into the Kona pier. It was my second Ironman in Kona, and I was calm. I enjoyed that calm feeling that I had for the first time in my life starting an event. So I always seek out to have that same feeling. I know what that feeling feels like, so I always try to create that feeling every time I approach a race. Be better than I was within the age group that I'm in, and continue to grow and improve mentally and physically. Number 2, review your training log. Look, everything clicked and you felt awesome and amazing, and you made a comment about it. You had those feelings. You know what that feels like, to feel so good because it's happened in training. So you want to make sure, going into number 3, that you use those positive feelings, you lie down in a quiet place, and you visualize how you want your race to go. You want to visualize how you want to feel from start to finish. Visualizing all those things that could go right are going to really set you up for success. Number 4, make sure you write out a race day plan. In that race day plan, include some pacing strategies, whether you're going to use heart rate, rate of perceived effort, or power. Make sure you write out your nutrition strategies, what and how much you're going to eat for breakfast, in transition, before the swim, on the bike, and on the run. And write out some mental strategies that you're going to use in case you have any setbacks or obstacles during that race. Want to make sure you have that planned out, such as, what if you do get a mechanical, such as a flat tire, broken chain, or shifter. Talk to other experienced coaches and athletes and find out what they've done in situations like that. So knowing what can go wrong, making sure you know how you're going to adapt to those ahead of time. The last thing I want to talk about is trust the plan. It's really easy for athletes to follow frequency, duration, and intensity, But when it comes to decreasing frequency, duration, and intensity, such as a taper, it's really hard for them to do. So make sure you do follow the proper rest protocol that you're being guided to do. Trust that it's going to allow you to arrive fit without the fatigue, and that's going to set you up for success. Shift your mindset that it's just another day of training with a large group, and you're going to be served a buffet of beverages and nutritional products to keep your energy high. And if you really love the training process, racing is no different. Use it as another day of training and use the race's feedback to guide the training moving forward. I'd love to hear any tips you want to share of how to ease your race day anxiety. Comment below or join the chatter in the T2 Endurance Facebook group, and I hope you make it a great day.